Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome back. Welcome back. Let me get squared away real quick for y'all. Get squared away real quick, real quick. One time for the one time. It's been a minute. Hopefully everybody's been good. Hopefully everybody's been blessed. Everybody's in good health. Hopefully everybody's taking care of their families. Everybody's eating well, thinking well, dreaming well, not staying up with constant anxiety, not staying up with depression. Hopefully we all are praying and we're fasting. I pray those things over you guys because I love you guys. I love you guys. Let's see. Okay. So we're gonna take this. It's been a minute, so bear with me. It's been a minute, so bear with me. I have not been on the live for the Light Institute for a little bit, so we're gonna get squared away real quick. So let me get that for you guys. Drop these links off where they need to be, so you guys can tap into the stream of consciousness that I have for you guys today. I thank God, man, that I'm even able to have the energy after a day like today. When you're talking about educating the youth, you're talking about impacting lives, but having to make sure I'm intentional about doing God's work, stepping into his purpose. Yep. We all the way in there. All right. We all the way in there. So welcome back, everybody, to the Light Institute. It's your boy K Sloan. This is a segment of the podcast, the Be a Light podcast, where I break down different concepts, ideals, and principles around just mindset development. What up, Mom? Look at you, Mama. Hey, real talk. Shout out to my mama. Mama's in Germany now, so she popped in on the podcast. I'm late night, but she early morning probably. I don't know. She probably at work right now. But yeah, man, this is where I break down principles. I break down, ideas behind, mindset development, career ascension education, and leadership cultivation. We for all people, we trying to build, we trying to grow, we trying to learn, and this is a part of that. This is an extension to that. So you can see the Be a Light podcast as the full course meal where me and my guys, my four brothers, we sit down on a call and we talk about different things that help us grow as men in this world that we live in today, because we know there's a lot of challenges that we're dealing with, a lot of struggles, a lot of just a lot of turbulence, right? If you see yourself as an airplane or a fighter jet going across, the skies and trying to find your way to your destination, you're gonna run into turbulence, you're gonna run into trials and tribulations. But the thing is that if you equip yourself with the right type of food, the right type of media content, the right type of information, then you got a chance. You got a chance. And if you don't, then you leave yourself to the devices, to your own devices. And when left to our own devices, our mind will fight against itself and it will take us down. It will lead us to our demise, because the mental is gentle. I say it again, the mental is gentle. So you have to pick up your pencil when you are around somebody that's trying to give you some information. So I would advise that if you tapped into the podcast ever, take a couple notes, man, pull out the notes on your phone. This is stuff that we're not just shooting off the cuff. This is stuff that we really are experiencing. We are people that are professionals, and we learned a little bit. So tap into the podcast. We on Apple iTunes, Spotify. We just posted last night. Got the book, man. Blessed to have received the offer from. Getting great reviews, man. Kids are reading it in school. Coaches are giving it to the kids. Coaches are reading themselves. Teachers are reading it. A lot of reception has been great from the book. I've been getting awesome reviews. If you gotten the book, just let people know how awesome the book was. It would be a lot. It would mean a lot to me. We are currently in the process as a team of writing our second book, which would be the Laws of Light, the 48 Laws of Light, where we break down different concepts around becoming a better man, becoming a better woman. And no, women, we are not trying to tell y'all how to be women. I'm just saying better people in general, letting that light shine, letting it illuminate, and hitting that next level. But today, I wanted to talk about not giving into the disease of nice. Not giving into the disease of nice. And when I'm talking about the disease of nice, I want you to think about that person in the office that you know that has this sick affinity with being liked, right? That person in the building that they will sacrifice everything for people to just want them around, want to accept them. They have this need to be accepted. Maybe you're that person. And I want you to know there's nothing wrong with being that person. But in the Light Institute today, we're going to talk about some of the things that can cause. And when we're talking about being nice and the law of nice, nice is not a good thing when you're talking about protecting your own energy and protecting yourself, because y'all know the old adage, nice guys finish last. I know you guys are probably thinking like, well, this is supposed to be like a light podcast. You guys are supposed to be positivity, bringing good energy. Well, I am. But what I got to say about this is that a lot of times when you're being nice, you are not saying things that could potentially hurt people's feelings. When you don't say the things that are truly on your mind, and you say other things or you do other things to make other people feel comfortable about being around you, then now you suppress your light naturally. Your light is unadulterated, it's uncensored, it's uncut, right? As beautiful as it can be, right? If you were to stare directly into the sun, the most bright light we could probably talk about when it comes to metaphysics and biology and what science knows for us as humans, what we can identify as the brightest light, the brightest ball of gas. If you stare directly into the sun, it might hurt your eyes if you don't put on shades. Now, there are benefits to staring directly into the sun. Vitamin D is beneficial, and they say that it opens up your third eye if you look directly into the sun, even though they say it's not good for you. But my point is this: when you look directly into the sun, that could cause a little bit of damage if you don't take the precautionary measures. And I want us to think about ourselves as the sun. We are the sun in every single situation when we are being fully, authentically our true self. And when we bend and we flex and we conform, then now we are not representing our sun self. Now we are representing an artificial light, somewhat like a light bulb, right? A light bulb does not have the voltage or the strength to be able to illuminate like the sun, because a light bulb could not handle that. It's man-made, it's manufactured, and it can only light up a room. If you put a light bulb in a lamp and you take it outside, it no longer has that same effect that it has inside of a controlled room where it can reverberate off the walls. And that's what I'd like to say is like when you're being nice, right? When you're being kind to Jill in the office, or you being kind to DeAndre in the office, and you're not saying certain things that's on your heart because you're trying to make them comfortable. Being nice is literally the killer of your passion, of your inner spirit, right? Because spiritually, when you breathe life into yourself every single morning and give yourself the affirmations and tell yourself that I'm powerful, I'm amazing, I'm intelligent, I'm strong. Those are not terms that, and I'm not saying that you have to use those. Affirmations could be whatever you guys want. It could even be prayer. It could be whatever you want. But when you start to speak life into yourself and you speak light out of your mouth on a routine basis, then you are working on that natural light, which is the sunlight coming out of you, and it touches people truly. That authentically creates connections. People are gravitating towards people that truly step into that light that they have inside of them naturally. But when you artificially create and manipulate your light, then you attract artificial manipulating types of people into your life, because they're attracted to the formed representation of you that you've created. And now you are wondering why you have these fake, phony, sourpuss people around you. And it's because you created this situation for yourself, not knowing, because you wanted to be nice. My mom always told me, shout out to mama, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And I still live by that, because I understand that everybody's not ready for the truth, right? Everybody's not ready to hear what's real, and that's okay. So you have to understand who your people are, right? This is why knowing your people is important, and this is why keeping a small circle is important, because you don't have to keep a big circle of 1 million folks, because guess what? When you always got all these people around you, you are bending and shucking and jiving, and you're trying to make people comfortable, and now you are artificial light. You are digestible light. You are in an internal fight to make things comfortable for the people around you. And when you're around your people, you don't have to make them comfortable. You can keep it real. OG 100, all the way funky. And after the interaction, they still know that you love them. And actually, I know you love them more because you kept it real. But those people that are not ready for the truth, because they can't handle the truth, like they say, right? You can't handle the truth. So if you can't handle the truth, then I can't be around you. Because if you come to me, you're going to get it real, raw, authentic. Don't ask me if you don't want to know the truth, right? Don't ask me if you don't want the truth. And if you don't want the truth, then I know I can't have you as my boss for long. I can't have you as my coworker for long. I ain't trying to serve you for too long. I'm going to give you what you need to get and go ahead and get you gone, because you're not ready to level up to the level I'm at, because I'm standing in my authentic self. Because if I continue to keep myself around you, then now I'm going to dim my light. I'm going to shrink myself. And you may be somebody that, because I start to shrink myself, this is where people get messed up. You get accepted, right? So people do a lot. People do a lot for social acceptance and validation, right? Social acceptance and validation. Hold on to that. Hold on to that. A lot of what people do is for social acceptance and validation. Women have been in situations with men that they've done things to compromise who they are and act in a way in which they don't really agree with for that acceptance and validation. Men are out here spending money that they don't have, driving cars that they can't afford, living in homes that's way above their budget, to attract women, to create that acceptance, to find that love. You need to handle your mommy and daddy issues, so you're not out here begging for that social acceptance and validation in other people, because it's making your light like that light bulb we talked about. You are only bright in a room. You take you outside into natural light, and you now are a non-factor, right? You got to spend more time outside. You got to spend more time noticing how natural occurrences take place in everyday life. You have to look at flowers and see how the flowers develop. Flowers will not grow if you see them budding out of the soil and you start to pull the leaves to make the flower come out. It's not going to grow in that way. The only way the flower grows is if you don't touch it, if you let the sunlight hit it, and it grows naturally, right? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for situations, opportunities, and people to be around that encourage us to be more natural, to be more ourselves. And as they discourage us to be ourselves and be more natural, then we have to naturally distance ourselves away from people like that, or else you get caught by the nice disease. And the nice disease is going to be the thing that takes you to your knees. Hey, I ain't tell you I had bars, but I gotta know. Let me check the poem. The poem that I kicked out on IG was crazy. It's called Peace. Y'all check that out. I do got poetry for y'all. Y'all ain't know. But back to the niceness. This is Light Institute. I'm kicking y'all knowledge. I'm teaching y'all mindset. I'm teaching y'all career ascension. I'm teaching y'all leadership development. You cannot be a leader that cannot keep it real with yourself first and everyone around you, right? And because the people that follow you are going to notice that you are a bender, you are a sucker, you are a driver, you are a dancer, right? You will get up there on the stage and put on a show for all these people that does not represent what we represent. You said a mission statement and you bend it on the mission statement because somebody said they got a bag for us. This is the thing I was telling my students today, and I try to teach this to young cats all the time, all young girls and young men. All money ain't good money. Everybody out here that's flashing cash at you, that's flashing fame at you, that's saying they can lift your brand up, you do not always want that stuff, right? Because if it's at the compromise of your morals, ethics, values, and where you say you want it to go, if it compromises that, you have to turn it down. You have to say no. You have to tell people no. You got to tell people that's not going to work for me, because every time you say no, you create more of a cement concrete avatar that represents who you are. Now, you always are going to be changing. So some things that you say no to today, you may say yes to tomorrow. But if today it's a no, then it's a hell no. I ain't going to go. I ain't going. I'm not doing it. It's not for me. And that's got to be what it is. And people have to be able to expect that from you. And when you have no no's and a bunch of yeses, you are a yes man, a yes woman, and you're going to get drugged all over the floor because people don't know what they want, man. People don't know what they want until they see what they like, what they think they need, and then they see the bandwagon effect. So once other people say, oh yeah, you're so good at this, John, you do a great job at this. They see you at the job and you do a wonderful job at accounting and you've never done accounting before. They're going to cheer you up, especially if we don't have a good accountant. They're going to make you the main accountant. It's almost like when I was playing football and I was actually a better defensive player than I was a running back. But when I first touched that rock and I went 80 yards to the house, I wasn't playing defense no more because my coaches, my team, and everybody else validated the fact that you are a running back, son. You're the best running back that we got right here. So you're going to be that. But internally, I knew I was a defensive player, but it didn't matter at that point because I couldn't overcome that social dynamic that said, this is what you're good at. What is that thing for you? What are people trying to put you in a box and say, this is what you do. This is what you're great at. This is what you got to keep doing. You got to identify those things and step back and reflect and take the time to say, okay, even though I'm good at this, even though I like to do this sometimes, even though this is a part of me, there are more parts of me. There's more things I can do, and I'm willing to do them because I don't care how y'all feel about me doing other things. If I want to do it, that's what I'm going to do. And that's a very important piece to your mental health. If you don't do these things, then you lose yourself. You spend years and years in a position, in a relationship around people that you don't really rock with like that. And as you go through life, you're going to start to blame them. And that's where you go wrong. Because the thing is that if you don't like something, it's your responsibility to change it. If you don't like something, it's your responsibility to change it. So when we're talking about influence, right? Influence by definition in the 48 laws of light, on the laws of influence, we said influence is the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of some other group, right? Or our group. Our greatest assets are our influence and our labor. Leadership must be willing to be unorthodox, more concerned with standing out than fitting in. Nobody follows Apple who follows trends. Excuse me, my bad. Nobody follows a person who follows trends. A great leader creates trends. Leadership must be comfortable and be controversial. That's leadership. Leadership is not conforming, it's not comforting, it's leadership. It's leading every single day. every single moment, every single situation. You got to lead from the front. And the reality of it is some people don't see themselves as leaders because some people have this whole thing where everybody's not a leader. Some people are followers, yada, yada, yada. That's not true. You have to lead yourself. You don't have a choice, guys. If you don't lead yourself, then somebody will lead you. Sovereignty is the goal of life. You have to be able to create rules and regulations around your own life and lead your own life. And as you start to lead your own life, people gravitate towards leaders. We have to build more of us that are leaders and stop following like little puppy dogs with our nose in the ground. Once we start to learn that we have talents in certain areas and people bait us with our talents. Don't get baited by your gift. All right. Just because you have a gift, it does not mean you have to do that thing. All right. Just because you have a gift, it does not mean you have to do that thing. 1 second. All right. Just because you have a gift does not mean you have to do that thing. Do what you want to do when you want to do it, as long as it's within the confines and the boundaries that you have set for what you see for your 10-year goal, for your 20-year goal, for your family, for your job, for your career, whatever it may be. It got to fit for you, right? It got to fit for you, because the thing is people are going to pull you all over the place. Now, I also want to go into this with a spiritual kind of connotation on this, and then I'll leave it in closing, right? I want to give you a spiritual connotation on this, and I'll leave you in closing. The spiritual center of your world is important. The way that you stay grounded in a world full of turmoil is the way to true success. Families are led by the spiritual heads of the household. Heinous crimes and murders are created by individuals that have a disconnect with their spirits. Heinous crimes and murders are created by individuals that have a disconnect with their spirits. So when you look at these people that are on TV all the time, and you see them in a situation where now they've acted out of character, and they have these documentaries and they talk about how far they've gotten away from themselves. You hear this in Hollywood all the time. Hollywood is got to have some dark energy around it, man. It's ruined so many people, man. You go from Britney Spears to Dave Chappelle saying it was time to run off and go to Africa, to you know what I'm saying, what it did to Michael Jackson, to what it's done to so many different celebrities. It's killed them. And Hollywood is one of the most famous, it's the holy mecca of energy when it comes to just collective focus, right? But at the same time, everyone that gets into it describes it in the same way, to which they say it's a monster that feeds on itself, and it chews you up and spits you out. And why does it do that, right? It does that because these are some of the most gifted people on the planet Earth that go in front of cameras and directors and these big dollars that go into these projects, and they get told what to do, and they go into these parties, and they go into these you know what I'm saying, different groups of celebrities, and they compromise who they are, right? And once you compromise your spirit, you dim your light, you turn into the light bulb versus that sunlight, then now you are susceptible to the depths of hell. The devil is looking for the spirits that are doing this. The spirits that are disconnecting themselves from themselves, right? The spirits that are falling in love with the flesh. They fall in love with their bodies. They're falling in love with what they're able to do. They're falling in love with what people can do for them. They're falling in love with that dollar, with the almighty dollar, which we almost can't call almighty no more, because even America, man, the dollar going down in value, and all these countries are looking at it like, yo, it's just we don't even need that. What you mean we got resources over here? What's that dollar gonna do for me? You know, so I digress. When it comes to spiritual connection, it comes through authentic ideals, authentic thoughts, authentic people, which is who we are naturally. And the only way you could truly get back to your natural, authentic self is through intentional practice, because we live in an artificial world. and we're impressed on by a lot of different things. Meditation is important. Practice your breathing. Savers method, I'm an advocate for it, right? I'm gonna teach it to y'all real quick. Savers stands for S, is gonna be silence. Practice getting at least 15 minutes of silence every single morning. A stands for affirmations. Speak to yourself and empower yourself every single time you get up in the morning and start your day. Visualization, see exactly what you want from your life and how you want your day to go before you start your day. Give it like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm telling you, all these things happen in the morning. E stands for exercise. 15 push-ups, 15 burpees, 15 squats. Even you could do some stretches. R stands for read. Read something in the morning. You see people that get the paper. You see people, if you want to get on your phone, I would say get away from the blue light. Maybe get a magazine, maybe get a book, something that you could just kind of look through a couple pages. And then the final S is scribe. Write something down and stimulate the brain. Create. These things are things that'll get you back to your spiritual center, get you back to your holistic self, and detach you from the world and connect you back with self. As you connect with self, then you no longer have that need to accommodate, okay? The need to accommodate is sick. It's an illness. We have to break ourselves from it because that job didn't hire you because of what you can do. That job hired you. That job is just a job. That job is nothing without you. That relationship was created because of who you are. She loves you for you, bro. He cares about you for you, girl. It ain't about what you got. And if it ain't that, then it ain't never been nothing. It's never been real, right? The Be Light podcast is dedicated to making us reflect and get back into ourselves. The Light Institute has been created for us to get back to the core and the essence of who we are as individuals. This is a collaborative experience, but it's important that you take care of the most intricate and instrumental piece of this vital experience that is life, and that's you. Peace.